all, I want to thank you, Jantje and Ruudt, and welcome you to this Zoom conversation. For us, for the gallery, a Zoom conversation is a very, very visual way to stay connected. That was the starting point with our artists in these special times, special periods, and to share these conversations with the audience, with our customers, with other artists. That's the goal, to share the conversation. It's also quite important. Jantje and Ruudt, I invite you to imagine yourself. You are sitting together in front of each other on a nice dinner. Let us talk about the meeting of the works that both of you have created. Where is the overlap? Is there a match? Can we define the connection? Or is there an interesting mismatch? That's also maybe a possibility. Let us find out. So I invite you to start the conversation.
Thank you very much.
Nice intro, Karin. Nice.
Thank you.
Shall I start? Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Ruudt, you may start.
Jantje, well, it's very interesting to see your work. I know your work. My God, how long already? That's really long.
The very beginning. No, not the very beginning, but the beginning in Amsterdam. Yeah.
But what I see the development, and I'm really questioning, what now at this moment, at this point of your work, what is your relation to space? Is that only space, as empty space, or has it also a certain kind of transcendental meaning?
Well, good question. It's difficult to say because, I mean, space somehow came in 2002. So before it was more about communication processes, was actually the interaction between human beings. And then I took the step a little bit further because there's a lot of communication going via space with satellites, and so that was actually the step into space. And it was always quasi-functional helpers for the wearer to actually navigate through space. But during the years, space still kept fascinating me, let's say. So maybe it's because you can't really get a grip on it. And it's definitely not empty space. It's a lot of pollution up there with all our stuff we send up. So I think that's more or less the things what intrigue me are maybe also, especially now with the last collection, the far side, which actually is on the back of the moon.
Yeah.
What we can't see 41%. So actually this is, I thought like, wow, here my imagination can just go crazy to imagine what's on this side.
Yeah. But is that a rational imagination, or is it a certain kind of mysterious?
Oh, it's the mysterious side.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can make it up. I mean, I can imagine everything there. I mean, actually, it was a little bit of pity because shortly before the exhibition was planned, you had the landing of the Chinese, and I thought, like, what the hell now? Because then you get better pictures.
No, you had a forehead. On forehead, you were already so far that you have been there before they were there. So
exactly.
As an artist, you foresee always the things, what will be happening.
That's nice.
You have to compliment yourself about that, Jantje. Yeah, no problem.
No, but it's definitely more the mysterious side and the fantasies about the space, what keeps me going producing.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Jantje. if you could, if you have, let's say, one word, an emotional word that you want to share with the audience, what word do you want? What's the first word? What comes to you about this series of work that you want to?
I don't know if it's
share?
emotional. I would say curiosity.
Yeah.
I would like to share.
Yeah.
I don't know. Of course, there's emotions attached, but I think it's a good attitude and a good manner to to follow, or to don't lose it. To be curious about things.
Yeah. Do you mean like in having an open mind? Or...
Definitely. Yeah.
Having
an open mind, and also don't become. And this I remember from let's say the very beginning in Amsterdam, the study at Rietveld Academy, the Cross Your Border actually already has it. Means this be curious, step out of your comfort zone, and I think once you did it, it's good to always remind yourself of not falling back into this comfort zone.
Okay.
And which can easily happen. I mean, yeah.
And then you met Ruudt at the Rietveld.
Yeah, actually, it's nice to have a conversation again with your old professor or teacher. I don't know, 1997. So I mean, it's a long time.
Jantje, this is the first official conversation with one of my old students from the Rietveld. So we are doing very primary thing.
And do you have a question for your professor?
Yes, of course. Because actually, I visited again the last days Ruudt's website, and actually it's also amazing amount of various works what you can see, and on the website. I mean, it's just crazy production in a way. It starts in, don't know, 74.
73,
it doesn't stop. So I mean, it's just continuously working. So that's very inspiring to see. And I mean, the newest work is not on the website yet. And I'm really happy that I had the chance when I dropped my work for delivery for the gallery at Ruudt's place, that I had the chance to see the new work in real, because it makes really a difference to see it on the photo, on the website, or to see it in real size and just in real. So I'm really happy that I could see it, and not only on the photo, because what was fascinating is that you really see the treatment of the material is extremely delicate, and it also shows you the enormous skill of the maker. So what actually I was wondering, apart from, let's say, it's the skills of a jewelry maker, to be very specific, and it's skills of traditional techniques. And actually, I'm also quite intrigued about the forms. So there's also a question, but what interests me more is it a conscious decision to, let's say, go back to a very traditionally old technique and material in times of, let's say, where you also have digital possibilities?
Yeah, for sure. I mostly say that I'm a very conservative jewelry maker. I'm traditional jewelry maker, and on the other hand, I'm a very bad jeweler. But that I will say that on the end. But well, I really love this old techniques of making, constructing, forming, soldering, being very and then thinking with your head already 3 times ahead before you do something, because otherwise it goes wrong. Yeah. And mostly of those kind of things, I make the first 2 myself. And my eyes are not so good anymore. So I have an assistant and he can do it 10 times better. Yeah. But the fact is, to do that, yeah, learns you a lot about how to deal with the form, how to soldering, and how the soldering is going around it, and that you think on when I do it on the when I do the soldering on the outside, then it's inside well done, and when I don't have to see it inside, I can do it on the outside. It's a matter of doing steps before on forehand, and I really love that. And well, I respect people who are doing things with 3D rendering and all kind of new techniques, but it's not for me.
Yeah.
I don't know how to deal with a computer. I can type a little bit, I can make some Photoshop or whatever, but there it stops. So when it comes to, it's my sketchbook, yeah, where all these drawings are in and where I'm really love to do and draw, and my water aquarelle, very, very, very traditional. But I love it.
But it's not like meant as a statement in these times, or is it just like a way of working? Maybe also because if you look back to series, I think from 2010, the aluminium.
Yeah, the anima series, yeah.
Exactly. If I compare these two, I mean, it's always like different techniques you're using, and now it's very defined craft.
Yeah.
Or known craft.
I also think a little bit like I'm becoming older, and about the power of me is in the 90s, yeah, where I start my series Interno. That was really, really boundary breaking in the world. Most of the jewelry were flat, and I came with a piece that was 3-dimensional and was standing, yeah, out 3-dimensional, standing outside of your body.
Yeah.
And that, where I'm coming back by that. I feel okay.
Yeah. I saw also in the shapes, I saw the only reference in all your works. I thought, like, of course you have like you see a red thread, but I thought like 1990 in Terno is kind of similar or familiar shapes.
Yeah,
bigger.
But it's very interesting. It's the shape. The shape is maybe similar, is not exactly similar, but the meaning is deeper. It has, I have the feeling that in time I've been growing, yeah, personally, and the work has more layers and more depth in it, and that's what I like to add in a work.
Yeah. Because I remember that series very well, because it was you took it once to Rietveld, or you explained how you can, the technique, how you get these shapes soldered. So this I still remember from a very first piece we made then in 1997. So
that was also very special. Maybe I'm coming back to it now. But I was this morning thinking about those Interno series and the way the techniques were there. I really loved it.
Yeah, interesting.
But the interesting thing is that in the Interno series, it was about the intern part of a piece, and now it's about the empty whole. Yeah, there is an interesting similarity in it. The Interno things were going about I hate holes, yeah, And then finally you can escape when you make a brooch. Then you can escape from the hole because you don't need a hole. And on the moment then you create a brooch and then you create a hole in it. But that means that there is a hole for nothing. So it had a very philosophical way.
Yeah.
Now I'm searching for the hole in the universe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm try to get there, and I'm not succeeding. I'm not succeeding. And what you get is that you have the I try to get a hole, but there is no hole. There is a stone, and finally a hollow comes around the hole, and
Yeah.
that's the hole, and that means that it's always just behind it or not exactly what it is,
Mm-hmm.
and honestly I love that. And it's not by purpose, it's never by purpose that I do something like that, but it happened, and then I think, yeah, there is the mystery. There
Mm-hmm.
is an interesting thing what you never can realize by yourself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because actually in the new theory, I don't know what the outside material is silver and the inside is a stone.
Yeah,
Or,
well, the outside this is silver,
yeah.
but it is the silver and the stone are have a similarity in materializing. It
Yeah.
nearly looks the same, but the stone is graphite, so I can grind that myself on the lathe. Yeah,
Yeah.
and what I really love is that when you try to look into
Yeah.
this circle, the hollow around the stone, you get into infinity.
Yes. Yeah.
Your eye can't get into it, and
Mm-hmm.
that's really experience. So it's trying to capture it and feel and full, and how is that going, how is that, yeah. So the stone and the size of the stone and the light breaking, I'm making always drawings and then with lines and light breaking things that you can't get it.
Yeah. But
And
actually you also need the inside to get the attention of the depth.
yeah, yeah,
So only the whole wouldn't be that strong. Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
And then the surrounding around the stone is, yeah, that makes it really interesting, mysterious. Yeah.
I have a small question for you, Ruud. What makes you choose to work with these materials? So the combination of the graphite and the oxidized silver?
It came first with the graphite. I was searching for the fade away. I was searching for fade away, for that things are going away. And this graphite, when you are putting or always sandpaper or even whatever, this goes away. And I thought I wanted to do something similar to graveyards and stones, where they fade away, yeah, by time. But it was all the time searching for things, but I never got it. And finally, I got it by by trying to capture the stone and made a certain kind of shell around the stone to keep it,
Yeah.
that only the front is now possible to change in form, but not the whole thing. And I can now you can easily wear it, I can say. Before it was you wear it and then you have a black surrounding around on your shirt or whatever.
Because
And that's not
what
what I wanted to. What?
what kind of shape do you get the graphite? I mean, I just have to think about my pencil, but is it like you can buy it in
There,
blocks?
there are they use that in machineries,
Yeah.
and you can get it in blocks, like it's unbelievable. It blocks of 50 by 50 by 50 centimeters, so huge.
Whoa.
And when you go into that factory where I'm by, everything is black.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Everywhere is black, the dust. Also, when I'm doing that on my lathe, then the whole studio is black. I have to clean everything again, and then it's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's also your lung, so I'm wearing
Yeah.
a big mask. It's horrible material, but I love it. It is. It has.
Wow.
It's also. It's like. It's like honey. It's so sweet and soft,
Mhm.
and when your hands are, you get milky. It's crazy, but it's black.
Yeah, yeah.
And what I like is the material I like, but I like also the color and that it's just off relation to the black silver. It's sort of kind of similarity that.
It's also in all your series or collections that the material has a very strong connection to the pieces.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you have an idea or a vision, how you imagine, and then you go searching for the right material, or is it sometimes as well the material is there and develops the form?
No.
Okay.
It's never, mostly it's not the material what is there, but mostly it's like I have I'm searching for a certain kind of team. Yeah, I want to investigate, in this case, the hole, the black hole, and then I forget it. Yeah, I do a
Yeah.
lot of investigation. Mostly my whole studio is full of a mood board, yeah, where all those images are hanging and blah blah blah. And then at a certain kind of moment, I forget it, and I call always that I burn the books. Yeah, forget it. I put it in my bag, the whole idea in the back of my brain in an occiput. It's a real existing thing. It's a nice word, an occiput. And then it's not there anymore. So then I'm more free to do what I want. And then I start or to draw blind or to do material investigation and making, but not with the way that I have to create something, and then new materials shows up, and there it
Goes
at
into,
a certain kind of moment it comes together, the idea, the thought, and also the different layers are coming together. Yeah.
and if the that's actually more or less my second official question. Um, if the newest collection is very in size, very variable, if I
Yeah.
compare to
Yeah.
other ones. So do you think at a certain moment of the wearer, or is the wearer completely not involved in the development of making? And how comes that size gets more variable?
Yeah. No, I'm first of all, that this sounds really stupid, but I'm not interested in my wearer at the first. I'm a very bad jeweler. That's what I said before, because I'm not thinking about how to deal that on the body. Yes, sometimes I feel that my pieces are aliens on the body. Yeah, they're plop out of the body and they're strengthened. So I'm not aware of the body, but I'm very aware of my concept. And the concept has body related things. Like in the interno, yeah, you come closer because you want to see the inside. So then you come to the people closer, yeah, by looking at it. And here you have to come closer to get into the depth. So then the wearable thing, yeah, is important, that the wearability is an important part of dealing when it's just as an object on the table, you have a different perspective.
I could also have it on the wall. Then I have the same position,
Yeah.
like on
Good.
the.
Yeah.
So why does it need a human being to activate? And not, could it be an object positioned on a wall or a shelf, or because that's always the question in. I mean, all the jewelry makers, let's say, from the academy, or that you're in this art jewelry scene, it could be all little sculptures. It's actually all little sculptures,
yeah,
which you wear on the body. And sometimes I also, I mean, I had also a period where I really make huge pieces, and then you think like, oh, they really, oh, they wear it. And then you have this, yeah.
But I think for me, as a maker, yeah, and that is also over during time, it's so interesting to have this relationship with the body, because to interact on the street with a piece, you have to be very proud of yourself. You have to be very distinguished and show off, and or you have to mentally, you have to understand what is the piece going on, and that you can explain to other people where this goes all about. So the relation with the with the wearer is more in a more mental way, yeah, than in the physical way for me, in personally.
The audience, or to spread the work,
Yeah.
or because of course it gets more attention, or jewelry is always this thing. It's something private, but it's also public.
Yeah.
So
and the private is with an artwork. It's at your home, and only people you invite, they can see it. You walk on the street, and you can get comments for sure. You get comments, and I give also people, when I see people with nice jewelry or with a nice dress or shoes, I give always comments. I say, oh, wow, nice shoes. And then people like, oh, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, people liked it also, that you give comments on it. And I love it to do. Yeah,
it's nice to do, but sometimes you also get comments. I just have to think about when I went to the dentist last time. I had also a brooch from the last collection. I just thought like it's at my place. I wear it myself, and it's an aluminium foil, covered in resin. That's it. Super simple aluminium foil. And the at the entrance desk, she said like, oh, sorry, you still have there, I think you ate something, you still have, there's still something hanging. So it's really interesting. I said like, oh no, it's jewelry. So it's also very funny to what people know and what people expect if there's aluminium foil on your textile. So
but people, when in earlier times I had smaller pieces related to this black, and then people say to me, oh, no recording today. And so yeah, but I like that people find their own relationship, and they see things, and then oh wow, my God, it looks like a microphone, and things like that.
Yeah. So they get curious in a way.
Yeah, but this now I have a question to you. What relates to this conversation? Well, during your study, we go back or the last year, I had a big fight with you. Fantastic. Because you were making really beautiful, unbelievable, beautiful pieces from ready-mades, where you started to make combinations and silver parts and ready-made parts from plastics. And then in a certain kind of moment, you said, okay, ready, they're done. And I said, oh, sorry, Jantje, these are objects. These are no jewelry. And then I was really pissed, and I said, I don't accept that you make object. I think you make jewelry out of it. And you were really annoyed, and you said, oh, you are really pissed at me at that moment. And so I'm I'm curious how that developed for you. Yeah. How that,
Maybe you have to start earlier. That was actually my graduation work.
yeah.
And it was a combination of plastic and silver. And in the very beginning, for me, it were brooches.
Yeah.
And then you came and said, like, because it was this prosthesis, which is catching the lines between, so communication never really happens or never really works. Then you said, but it could be also objects. So that's actually, it had a longer circle. So then I was like, yeah, actually, maybe it can be also objects. Why jewelry? So I got totally with this object idea and questions, because I come from a very jewelry field.
Yeah,
so I questioned, maybe it has not to be jewelry. And then in the end, when I had this collection, I remember, then this point was like, but yeah, what do people do? Do they put it on the, how do you call it, Fensterbank?
Yeah.
Shelf.
Yeah.
And then it gets dusty, and are you happy with it? And then I thought, like, oh, wow, first he pushed me into the object, and now he says, like, no, it has to be jewelry. So what the hell? And then actually later, look, at that moment, I indeed was not very pleased. But looking back, because then I made all the brooches became of two components. You had one facing the outside world and one touching the skin under the textile. And I think it was a very, very smart detour you put me on to also develop forms and sizes. I wouldn't develop if I would immediately from the beginning think about jewelry, then it would have been much smaller and more variable. I mean, looking back, they're still very, very variable, but I think also the addition with the second part that you have like one shown and one just has contact to the wearer made it much stronger. So in the end, I was very happy that you pushed me that way and in and out and object and jewelry. And so it was very helpful. And I often have to think back to this detours. Also when I think about being with students and how to get them out of the comfort zone, because that's what the jewelry field for me, to get them somewhere else, which in the end can become jewelry again, but far stronger. So
to push people in an unknown area is very important.
Yeah, because then also the clothing system, so they still could exist as an object because you couldn't see the clothing system. So yeah, actually I was very satisfied with that collection in the very first collection after entering Rietveld Academy with watch design. I mean,
yeah, what? Now I remember watch design, fantastic, yeah, great.
I still like it. I mean, and there's still, and I'm really, really grateful for all the technical background I learned back then in the time in Hamburg, where it was really form follows function and extremely precise working with soldering. And so now I can really combine these two worlds of.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. You can see that too at your work, that the preciseness, it's yours, and maybe also mine, because I'm an instrument maker. It's also this very precise background what is always influenced into the work.
Because I remember making a watch, and then it has to be 0.3 millimeters from the top, and then on all angles. I mean, I'm not able to do it anymore, or it would take ages, because you really lose the routine of daily precise measuring. And I also remember my former boss, who visited at that time Rietveld Academy for the graduation show, and he was really like, yeah, but the soldering could have been better. And I mean, at that time I thought, like, who cares about the soldering? But now, I mean, but it is really, with some pieces, I thought it's also nice if you still see where the solder was placed. But with others, it was also invisible. But of course, he pinpointed out the one where you
But
could see it.
But how is that now for you? Is that important?
It has to fit. It has to fit the piece, but mainly I do work really precisely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think also you get the respect from the audience.
Yeah. Also, like it adds a certain value for me. For me personally, it's not. It doesn't have to be for all. I mean, because there are lots of pieces which haven't got this accuracy, and they're also beautiful. So there's no rule or no, but it has to fit for your own comfort. I don't know, or how you feel about it.
Yeah, the meaning of the piece has to fit. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the craft. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think I can see a connection to my education in Hamburg with the watches, because it's a certain preciseness, and it's perfect. In the end, it has to be perfect. It's a functional piece.
Yeah.
So I see this always back in what I also do like, but I also like art which is not perfect in the making, let's say. It's a different quality. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting. I think it was till now already a very interesting conversation. And is there something else something that you want to add to the conversation? Otherwise, I have a very last question for both of you.
I think, yeah. Okay. I'm curious what you want to know.
Yeah, I have much more questions, but there's one question what pops out. And when closing your eyes, what do you feel or see when you visualize the works or the combination of works?
What do you mean with combination of works?
Yeah, both of your works, like we're going to present it in the exhibition. Is it like in the beginning that I mentioned? Is the difference in between the works is interesting, or is there a mismatch? Is there a match? What do you see or what you feel when you see, let's say, both of your works together? If you can imagine. Does it add something, or do you lose something?
I think you don't lose something. I think it's a very nice match, or I think it's a nice match, and it has, maybe it's the fascination about this thing you can't get a grip on. Yeah. So that's more or less a similarity about this, how to catch something which is invisible in a way. Yeah. But it's done in two different ways. So it's the same inspiration or the same motor which keeps us moving, but it's different work. So that's always nice to see that someone has the similar interest and make something completely different. So this is always, I think, nice to see, or interesting to see, to have a topic from different angles.
Thank you. And Ruudt?
I feel I was really closing my eyes, and then I thought, oh wow, this is sort of kind of galaxy.
Wow.
That was what I really then I was feeling, yeah, and I was, there are more things there, and those kind of things are fitting, and they're from different, yeah, ways and forms, and it feels a galaxy. It was a certain kind of poetic galaxy.
Nice. Yeah.
Thank you for that. So then I come to my conclusion that maybe both of the works are, they have something to do. There's a connection between the time where we're living in at the moment and the work that you both have made. So the galaxies and the mystery and what's what we can see in what's still hidden. I think that's very actual.
Yeah. Maybe it's with more and more digitalization that you lose the kind of mysteries. I don't know.
Yeah.
That this keeps me being interested in that. What you can't click on and scroll through, or I don't know. You can also find a lot about universe and pollution and I don't know, but you can still imagine a lot, which is not proven. So.
Is that one of the things that you want to give the spectator or the viewer or the wearer, the mystery or the love for the mystery? Or that you want to put the focus on that?
I don't know, I think in that point I differ from Ruudt. Of course I want the pieces have a connection in the story or why I make it. And I hope that someone gets into the idea and likes it, gets inspired, wants to wear it. But in the end, it's wearable jewelry. Or that's where I developed to. So in the end, I really want to have people wearing my pieces.
All right.
To have it as in the end, it's also a decoration of it's or it's a statement, or it's like wouldn't say fetish, but it's like how you create your own person.
Identity.
Yeah. Identity, that was the word I was looking for, yes.
I think it's a part of your identity to spread out in the world. You present yourself by wearing an ID.
Yeah.
And the last thing what I wanted to say, it would be really fantastic when it was nice when you close your eyes, you see a certain kind of black hole, and then you open it and you see it again, or not.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't see the black hole when I open it.
Fantastic. Jantje, thank you very much. It was very funny. It was very interesting.
Yeah, very nice. Because actually, when you out of university, you don't discuss that much with colleagues about your own work, which is quite strange. We're all makers, or a lot of friends are makers, and you don't deep into why, what. Yeah.
This morning, I think I was thinking about why, but it's difficult now with Corona. But for instance, Benno Bremsela, an artist, a designer in the Netherlands, he had every set in the moment that he was in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, he had Sunday morning breakfasts. And he invited artists to talk together. And I was thinking, why after Corona I have to do something like that, because it's so nice to talk and to share things.
Yeah.
It's and we miss that. So
actually Corona opens then the positive thing that you can easily make a Zoom call, or I mean, it's different than sitting together in. I also could imagine sitting on the terrace at Ruudt's place in the sun. But this digital version actually opens also a lot of possibilities. So maybe that's something we learned with Corona to just.
We learned with Corona, but I believe food will be a very, very good smearmiddel it's a lubrication gel to get things together. Yeah, and